Like, I didn't kill her physically, but in the back of my mind, she died.
It's like David is pretty much admitting that he may be liable in some way to what happened to Celeste. What is the clearest indication of that? Well, you guys, it's simple. He is transferring his assets to his mom's house.
This is Celeste Rivas Hernandez, a 15-year-old girl from Lake Elsinore, California, whose decomposed remains were discovered on September 8, 2025, in the front trunk of a Tesla registered to 20-year-old rising singer David. But before we uncover the 6 red flags that could have saved Celeste's life, let me take you back to where their paths first crossed and how a young girl's infatuation with an online musician would lead to a tragedy that shocked the nation. On September 8, 2025, workers at a Hollywood tow yard reported a foul odor emanating from an impounded Tesla. Inside the front trunk of the vehicle, wrapped in plastic bags, was the severely decomposed and dismembered body of a teenage girl. The Tesla had been abandoned in the Hollywood Hills for approximately 5 days before being towed, and authorities believed the body had been inside for several weeks, possibly months. The vehicle was registered to David Anthony Burke, better known by his stage name David, a 20-year-old indie R&B singer who had risen to viral fame through TikTok with his hit song Romantic Homicide. The irony of that song title would not be lost on anyone following the case. But who was the girl found in his car, and how did she end up there? Forensic analysis identified the victim as Celeste Rivas Hernandez, a 15-year-old who had been reported missing on April 5, 2024, when she was just 13 years old. She had last been seen leaving her family home in Lake Elsinore, approximately 70 miles from Los Angeles, wearing gray pants, a block sweater, a hat, and Hello Kitty sandals. Her family had been searching for her for over 16 months when her body was finally discovered. But Celeste's story didn't begin with her disappearance. It began much earlier, in the digital spaces where a young girl's admiration for a musician would transform into something far more sinister. Let me introduce you to Celeste Rivas Hernandez. Born on September 7, 2010, Celeste was described by neighbors and family as a sweet child, recognizable by her long, curly black hair. She was a first-generation American, the daughter of immigrant parents from El Salvador, living in the suburban neighborhood of Lake Elsinore. To those who knew her, she was a vibrant teenager with dreams and aspirations typical of a girl her age. But beneath the surface, there were troubling signs. Celeste had a history of running away from home, with multiple incidents documented by the Riverside County Sheriff's Department. Deputies had visited her family home 11 times between February 2024 and April 2025, responding to what were classified mostly as minor crime investigations and suspicious circumstances.
We have heard it before, and we heard it again just last night, that Celeste ran away from her family again and again for a reason. Reports said that the girl's home life was troubled. Her middle school boyfriend, before she ran off with David, said that her mother treated her badly and that she often talked about running away. And now TMZ has the receipts of repeated police visits to Celeste's family home in Lake Elsinore, California, 70 miles away from the Hollywood Hills, where Celeste sought refuge in David's mansion. TMZ has learned that the Riverside County Sheriff's Department responded to calls about Celeste's family or from Celeste's family about 11 times in a little over a year. The dates are February 2024 to April 2025. And remember, the family reported Celeste missing for the last time in April of 2024. So those calls continued for a year while she was ostensibly missing. And until this week, we believed that April of 2024 was the last time that they'd seen each other, right? Celeste and her family. But now we know different. And I'm going to come back to that in a hot minute. All of the police visits were listed as, quote, minor crime investigation, except for one of them. And that one was described as, quote, suspicious circumstances. Again, no details available from the police, but the dates of these calls speak volumes. 3 of the calls happened on one day, March 19th, 2024, which, by the way, yeah, that's the day that Celeste ran away. She was caught on surveillance camera in a neighborhood liquor store, running down the street at 7 a.m. Black car was seen pulling out after her, but it's not clear if Celeste had gotten into it. This was just something that happened that the liquor store owner saw, but it wasn't caught on tape. 2 of the 3 visits that day were to Celeste's home. Cops came to her home 2 times, but the 3rd visit that police made was to that liquor store. Celeste's sister also visited that liquor store on that day and asked to review that surveillance video. One of the other police visits that TMZ documented was at 9:29 p.m. on April 5th, 2024. That time is about a half hour after the family reported her missing to the police for the very last time. So they report her missing at 9 p.m. and at 9:30 the police are at their door. Officially, Celeste was still missing when her badly decomposed remains were found here in this impound lot in the front trunk of David's Tesla.
Her ex-boyfriend would later describe a troubled home life, suggesting that Celeste was seeking escape from circumstances that made her vulnerable to predation.
California teenager who says he dated Celeste before she ran away to Hollywood is speaking out tonight. Damian Hernandez is the 15-year-old, same age that Celeste would be had she lived past September 7th, her birthday. He says that he and Celeste were a couple when he was in the 8th grade and she was in 7th. In an exclusive interview with TMZ, he says that Celeste was indeed unhappy at home and may have been running away from her family as much as running to her rich and famous new boyfriend, according to what she told him. Here is some of that interview.
I guess she liked me or she was looking for someone, and yeah, we started talking. She was really kind, and she said she wanted something serious.
And how old were you when you met her?
13 or 14.
So at what point did you feel or did you hear from Celeste that there were problems at home?
She said how her mom didn't treat her well or whatever, and she didn't like where she was at.
Did she talk at all about her relationship with her parents?
Kind of. She just said they were mean or whatever. She didn't like them.
And then you guys broke up, and the next thing you know, you find out that she's involved with this internet sensation, David.
Yeah, I didn't think it was gonna happen, like, at all, because like she was always like so happy and stuff.
What is your last memory that you have of Celeste?
We were at PE, and she told me and my friend that she was running away. And she said it was because of her parents, and she was like joking about it, and she was like happy, like joking like she always was, and like it didn't seem real because like she was like playing around, joking about it. And the next day she wasn't at school, and like that's the last time I saw her.
What was your reaction when you saw the breaking news that they had found your ex-girlfriend's body in the trunk of his car?
My heart dropped. I was like, I don't know. I just couldn't believe it. I kind of had a feeling when I saw, like, the first thing. I was like, what if it is her? But I just, like, brushed it off. But when I saw it really was her, I was like, damn, I really knew.
So let me just make sure I'm understanding this correctly. You had seen the news out of Los Angeles that a body was found in his car.
Yeah.
And you immediately had a sinister thought about Celeste?
Yeah, because one of my friends told me.
Were you at home with your mom when they identified Celeste and you saw it all over the news? Can you remember that moment for us?
Yeah, I was on the way to school, and then like she just like showed me, and like I took a picture of it and I sent it to one of my friends, and he's like, yeah, I saw it too, it's crazy. And I just couldn't believe it.
This is where David enters the picture. David had experienced a meteoric rise to fame, Starting as a gaming content creator making Fortnite montages, he began creating music in his sister's closet after his mother told him to make his own songs to avoid copyright issues. His raw, emotional tracks about heartbreak and toxic relationships resonated with millions of young fans on TikTok. By 2022, his song Romantic Homicide had gone viral, catapulting him into the mainstream music industry. But David's lyrics weren't just metaphorical explorations of heartbreak. They contained disturbing themes that would later take on chilling significance.
In the back of my mind, you died. It's kind of like the storytelling aspect of the lyrics that came before it, in a way that it builds up to the big moment where she died in the back of my mind. Like, I didn't kill her physically, but in the back of my mind, she died.
The connection between Celeste and David appears to have begun as early as 2022, when she was around 11 or 12 years old, through platforms like Discord and social media. A former teacher claimed that Celeste had confided in him about meeting David online and that she had run away to Hollywood to be with him, only to be found by police and returned home. This wasn't a one-time occurrence, as Celeste would run away multiple times, each time allegedly seeking out the older musician who had captured her young heart. On February 14, 2024, Valentine's Day, Celeste was first officially reported missing. She was 13 years old when she was located and returned home, but this wouldn't be the last time. Disturbingly, this same month, February 2024, was when David's manager, Josh Marshall, signed a $20,000 per month lease for a luxury home in the Hollywood Hills where David would be staying. The timing was not coincidental. By April 5, 2024, Celeste was reported missing for what would be the final time. Her mother later revealed that Celeste had a boyfriend named David and that she had last been seen being picked up in a Tesla. The connections were becoming impossible to ignore. Evidence of their relationship extended beyond mere speculation. Both Celeste and David had matching tattoos on their right index fingers, a detail that would later be used to help identify her body. Photos and videos surfaced showing them together, including a live stream from October 2023 where they appeared to interact with fans together.
No, you didn't. That's controversial. It's controversial of kids. Really good.
Okay,
it's been a good one. Bye.
Bye, guys.
Mwah, 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 mwah. Oh my! Delete everything. Delete everything. Everything goes. Everything. Oh, yo! Wait.
Oh, look it. Answer that one. That's so mean if you don't answer.
Which one? What's good, David? Big fan. Oh, thank you, Mitochondria.
I gotta sound with him if you even.
We
need to delete this.
Maz, can we delete all VODs? And then as soon as the stream ends, delete the stream too?
Perhaps most chillingly, a leaked demo song titled Celeste surfaced with lyrics that directly referenced a girl named Celeste and contained disturbing content about her having his name tattooed on her chest. Now, while her family frantically searched for her, posting flyers and pleading on social media, David's career was skyrocketing. He was on tour, performing to sold-out crowds, promoting his debut album, Withered, which debuted at number 13 on the Billboard 200. His music videos featured disturbing imagery that would later take on very dark meaning.
And in his music video for his song One More Dance, which was released just in February, David is dragging a body and hiding it in a trunk.
The music video for One More Dance eerily foreshadowed what investigators believe happened to Celeste. His stage shows featured props including a casket and guest book, with David wearing outfits featuring bloody handprints. What fans once saw as edgy artistic expression now appeared to be something far more sinister. But here's where the case takes an even darker turn. Remember how Celeste's body was found in September 2025, over a year after she went missing. Investigators believe she may have died around May 2024, just weeks after her final disappearance. This means her body could have been concealed for months before being placed in the Tesla that was eventually abandoned in the Hollywood Hills. The Los Angeles Police Department's Robbery Homicide Division launched an investigation, though they were careful in their language. They confirmed that Celeste's body was found in the Tesla and that the vehicle had been parked at the location from which it was towed for several weeks. However, the cause and manner of death remained undetermined due to the severe decomposition, making it difficult to establish criminal culpability beyond the concealment of the body. On September 17, 2025, just days after Celeste's body was identified, LAPD executed a search warrant on the Hollywood Hills where David had been staying. Investigators searched for blood evidence, including checking drains for tissue or DNA traces, and seized items including a laptop and other electronics for forensic analysis. The home, rented by David's manager, Josh Marshall, for $20,000 per month, was 143 meters from where the Tesla had been abandoned.
I got to tell you about the search at the house. We know what while we don't know what they actually left with, we know from law enforcement sources what they were looking for and what they did inside the house. You know, they were looking for blood evidence. We're told that the detectives went through the house. There was with luminol, thinking that if whatever happened to Celeste, if she met her demise in the house, they wanted to see if there was any evidence of blood anywhere in the home. So they were using luminol around the house. They were checking drains to see if there's any, blood evidence or, blood or tissue that was in the drains there. So they did a scouring of this house looking for any evidence. Again, we don't know what, if anything, they found, but our law enforcement sources say when they executed this search warrant, that was on the list, a very long list of things they were looking for in that house.
That's very painful to hear, because we know that this body was dismembered and not all parts of this body were recovered. So it would make perfect sense if they were looking to see where that dismembering happened. Right. And also, just remind me, this house is being rented by David's manager.
Yeah, you got to keep in mind that David is a very young, he's 20 years old. So from what we've seen as listings, this house is going, $20,000. That it can be rented for $20,000 a month. It is a large home. It's an estate, really. That's not the kind of thing even a famous 20-year-old could do on his own, typically. So it is his manager, a guy who is connected to Interscope Records.
Josh Marshall is his name, right?
Yes. So he is the person we found out who was actually on the lease, who was renting this. But again, from all the photos that David has posted, it's very clear he was staying in this home, if not all the time, frequently he was staying there.
Was the focus just on the house, or did they look elsewhere around the property?
They looked around the entire property. There's the house, there's a yard also where they could have searched for,
what about
and would
a garage?
have searched. Yes, there's a garage there. In fact, I want to say it's a 3-car garage that they went into. They searched there. But
I mean, my mind, being in true crime, goes to Dexter, and garages are often one of the places of choice, for this kind of macabre behavior. Yeah. And then do you have any information on purchasing? Like, was anybody within David's orb purchasing things like the kind of supplies you would need for this kind of an operation? Sometimes the Home Depot, sometimes Walmart. People go in with big cleaning supplies, drop sheets, even tools, that kind of thing. Bleach.
I know where your mind is going, Ashley, and I wish I could say we don't know at this point, but it has been very difficult, I will say, to speak to people in David's orbit, that close friends. As you would imagine, most people are pretty tight-lipped and not willing to say anything at this point because they know what's going on. They know this case has been getting a lot of attention here in LA and growing in the attention it's getting around the country. They know what police are looking for, and so they have not exactly been forthcoming.
And this is where David's actions became particularly telling. On September 18th and 22nd, 2025, just days after the home was raided, David transferred the deeds to 2 Houston area properties he owned to a trust under his mother's name.
Now, why is this smart? Some people are like, oh, if you transfer assets, they can still go after them civilly. Okay, but not if you're not a suspect, not if you're not under investigation. As long as you do that before you're a suspect or named or under investigation, it's completely legal.
The timing was suspicious, occurring right as the investigation intensified. Legal experts pointed out that while such asset transfers can be legitimate estate planning, the timing could be seen as an attempt to shield assets from potential civil lawsuits, even if criminal charges weren't filed. One of these transfers happened on September 18th, the exact same day as a swatting incident at his parents' Texas home. Someone using a voice masking device had called in a false report of a shooting and a female victim, forcing police to respond with guns drawn to his family's residence.
Body cam footage shows his mother answering the door, confused and frightened, as officers explained they'd received a call about someone being dead at the property.
Now we have this new video, and it is so weird. Not even sure if it's connected or ties into this case per se, maybe, but we're gonna discuss it. So TMZ obtained police body cam footage, and this is from days after Celeste's body was found in that 2023 Tesla. And police show up to David's Hempstead, Texas family home. So we're talking September 18th, after Celeste was ID'd. And the Texas officers, they respond to this home, guns drawn, and they respond to a report of gunfire.
I'll go out wide and keep you covered. You want to tap the door? Just wait for me, Because I'm going to keep you covered. Go ahead. I got you covered. Come right here. There's too many windows. Here, knock on the door. Dude, we got a phone call from here saying that somebody was dead. What? Is there somebody else that lives on this property that has your address? What's your address? That's it.
That's it. That's what actually got.
We got an address. There was a gunshot and a woman scream.
What?
I'm serious. That's why we came up here like this, because and then they talked to the caller. Whoever they were talking to said that there's a person dead.
No, sir. No, sir.
So officers have guns drawn. They're ready, thinking someone might be dead. And there is just seemingly a lot of confusion by David's parents. They don't appear to have any idea what's going on. They close the door. So let's see what happens next.
Ma'am, we got to figure out what's going on so we can leave, okay?
They advised. We made contact. They said nothing happened here. She shut the door. Now she's calling 911.
Sir, we haven't received a call.
I believe she's going to be in the process.
Go ahead, give him a call if you want to verify it. Okay.
All right, she's calling you now. There's more that went on.
Can you repeat, sir? Broken traffic.
Oh, that's not normal activity. If you were at the wrong address, they'd be concerned about somebody else. Like really? Like, you know what I mean? Like, they'd be trying to help.
Can you send 1042, sir?
Sorry to bother you, but somebody called and said there was something. I mean, there was a person that they called on themselves. You know what I mean? It was like, hey, there's somebody dead.
Someone's dead. Yeah.
That's what we have. I mean, we're gonna take caution. You know what I mean? Wasn't trying to scare y'all. Just this house is way off the roadway.
So you just opened the gate and came in?
Yes, ma'am. I'll put it back. I have a gate just like it.
I think it's probably disconnected.
Yeah, when it's something like this, when they say somebody's dead, their life matters more than, you know what I mean? I didn't damage your gate. I just opened it.
And that is when there is a realization. Did someone just prank them? Are they the victims now of swatting?
It ain't on their phone.
And this is not a Texas.
Yeah, it's an out-of-state number.
Someone's messing with us.
But whoever it would be pinged here though, because wherever they call from, it pings and sends it to dispatch.
What the what?
So like whenever you call 911, wherever you are, it sends like a ping that's how they know the address.
And this address came up to this number?
Yes, ma'am. That's where he was meeting. Charlie to engine 42.
So it says somebody on my property?
It could be. We'll check the property for you. Yes, please. So we'll ride around. If you can give me a layout, how's the property? Like, does it go further back? Like,
no, it doesn't go any further back. It's right here and then it goes
on the fence. There was a gate here.
the fence around. It's a private fence. Well, him and I will ride around and check, and then we'll leave.
Yeah, okay, so that was a false alarm. See, I don't like this kind of thing. So if I really do have an emergency, then
yeah.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am. Sorry.
If you do have an emergency, you know we're going to be here.
Okay.
We're going to get here.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you, gentlemen. Appreciate it.
All right.
Y'all have a good night.
Someone is messing with us. Yeah, it's pretty scary. And you can see David's mom wondering whether someone is still on the property.
The swatting was clearly harassment related to the case, but David used that very same day to shield his assets. Legal experts explained that by moving properties before being officially named a suspect, such transfers are technically legal, even if they appear designed to avoid future civil liability. David also broke the lease on the Hollywood Hills home and vacated the property immediately after the raid. He canceled all remaining dates on his US and international tour, citing unforeseen circumstances. Brands like Crocs and Hollister immediately dropped him from campaigns, and his record label postponed the release of his deluxe album. Reports indicate that friends in David's circle believed Celeste was 19 years old, allegedly because she had fake IDs that allowed her to attend age-restricted events. But this raises serious questions. How could a 20-year-old man not know he was dating a 13 or 14-year-old girl? Photos from their time together show a young teenager who, despite any fake identification, clearly looked her age. The investigation revealed disturbing patterns of alleged grooming. Discord messages allegedly showed contact between David and Celeste dating back to 2022, when she was approximately 11 or 12 years old. Some sources claim that David or people in his circle may have paid individuals to keep quiet about Celeste's real age. But here's where things get even darker. A grand jury was convened in early December 2025, and what came out of those proceedings shocked even seasoned legal observers. The grand jury heard testimony from David's manager, Robert Morgenroth, over multiple days, and here's what's absolutely chilling. Morgenroth was grilled extensively about why he didn't alert police when he learned about the body. Prosecutor Beth Silverman, a veteran known for handling high-profile cases including the Grim Sleeper serial killer, is leading the charge. Sources close to the proceedings say she's been particularly aggressive in questioning witnesses about the timeline, trying to establish not just what David knew, but what his entire team knew and when they knew it. Record label executives from Interscope also testified, facing difficult questions about their knowledge of Celeste and whether anyone at the label had concerns about David's relationship with an underage fan. The grand jury wanted to know, did the music industry turn a blind eye to protect a profitable artist? Now, let me tell you about evidence that hasn't been widely discussed. Investigators found a chainsaw and an unused burn cage at David's rental property. The burn cage, capable of reaching 1,600 degrees Fahrenheit and illegal in LA County, had been delivered under a false name. While these items weren't actually used on Celeste's body, according to police, their presence raises disturbing questions about intent and planning. The LAPD believes that multiple people assisted in disposing of Celeste's body. This wasn't a one-person operation. Someone helped move her remains, someone helped conceal them, and possibly someone helped clean up the scene. The question investigators are pursuing is who else was involved and how deep does this conspiracy go? Public reaction to the case has been intense and divided. On social media, thousands have weighed in. Some defend David, pointing out that he was on tour when the body was discovered and that the Tesla could have been used by someone else. Others compile evidence threads, analyzing every photo, every lyric, every social media interaction between David and Celeste.
Recent news, a fellow streamer Jason the Ween has been facing backlash recently after defending a D4 VD situation.
Streamers who initially defended David found themselves facing intense backlash. Ludwig and Jason discussed the case on stream, with Jason initially saying he didn't do it, he's not a murderer, citing the fact that David was performing the day after the discovery. But as more evidence emerged, even defenders began walking back their support. The case has also drawn attention to other figures in David's orbit. Speculation swirled around a streamer named Marky Next Door, who some claimed was David's bodyguard based on a 2022 Discord message where David jokingly called him his best bodyguard who would kill for him. Marky next door vehemently denied being a bodyguard and any involvement in the case, though he confirmed being contacted by LAPD detectives. But perhaps the most damning evidence comes from David's own artistic output. An unreleased song titled Celeste contains lyrics that are now being examined as potential confessions. The lyrics reference a girl named Celeste with disturbing lines about wanting to make someone suicidal and being afraid they'll only love and undressed. His hit song Romantic Homicide was uploaded on September 7th, which happens to be Celeste's birthday. The grand jury process has been secretive, but sources indicate that proceedings may extend through February 2026, with additional witnesses expected to testify. Grand juries typically align with prosecutors' recommendations, and with Beth Silverman expressing confidence in David's involvement, an indictment seems increasingly likely. But here's the complexity that makes this case so challenging. The cause of death remains undetermined. Celeste's body was so decomposed that determining exactly how she died has proven nearly impossible. She weighed just 71 pounds when found, indicating massive decomposition. Forensic expert Amy Santoro has publicly stated that investigators believe Celeste died from a drug overdose, based on autopsy results showing no signs of trauma or pregnancy. If toxicology confirms this, David could avoid murder charges, though he would still face serious charges for concealing the body and potentially for statutory assault given Celeste's age when the relationship allegedly began. This creates a gray area. Even without proving murder, prosecutors could pursue charges for body mutilation, concealment, and contributing to the delinquency of a minor. The statute of limitations on most sex crimes involving minors is typically 2 to 3 years, but some jurisdictions have extended windows for crimes against children. Celeste's family has also been criticized for allegedly accepting gifts or money from David. Some reports suggest her sister may have even facilitated meetings between David and Celeste, though these claims remain unverified. Deputies visited Celeste's home 11 times in just over a year, yet no one connected the dots. Teachers knew she was running away to meet someone she'd met online. Police brought her back from Hollywood multiple times. Her mother knew she had a boyfriend named David, yet somehow a 13-year-old girl was able to maintain a relationship with a 20-year-old celebrity for a year before she died. As this investigation continues, Celeste's family grieves. They held a private funeral on October 6, 2025, with mourners carrying her white casket under a tent at Queen of Heaven Cemetery. A GoFundMe campaign raised money for her burial, with the family expressing gratitude for community support while pleading for justice. And David remains free as of January 2026, though he has stopped cooperating with authorities after initially engaging with them. He has hired prominent defense attorney Blair Burke, known for representing high-profile clients. He has retreated from public view, possibly relocating to Texas, and has made no public statements about Celeste's death. If David is indicted and convicted of murder, he could face life imprisonment. Even if criminal charges don't result in conviction, Celeste's family could pursue civil suits that could cost him millions. Do you think David killed her or he is being framed? Let me know what you think in the comments section. Click on one of the cards on your screen to see more videos like this.